Hi, this is Richard Chamberlain, and welcome back to the Protecting Your Family's Future podcast. This is episode number 144. Today's going to be the last episode in our podcast. We've been doing this for almost 3 years now, and we are going to stop doing the podcast, but we're going to continue doing videos that are going to be available on YouTube and on our website. So we encourage you to join us over there on those platforms for the information that we provide. But since today's our last episode, I want to do an episode on why people use trusts instead of wills. We've spent a lot of time on the podcast talking about different aspects of living trusts, how they work, the benefits of using them. And so I thought in this last episode, we would make this a quick summary of the details, why people do that. So the first thing that a trust will do that a will not do for you is it will prevent a court from having control of your assets if you become incapacitated. You're going to name successor trustees who would take over if you become incapacitated. Their job is to manage the assets of the trust as the trust directs, to take care of you, to take care of your loved ones, and a court is not involved. In the same way, a trust is going to avoid probate for your assets when you pass away. The assets that are owned by your trust don't have to go through probate. So, because of that, the trust is going to save you and save your loved ones a lot of money overall. So, the cost of setting up the trust and the cost of administering the trust is a lot less than the cost of having a will and having that will go through probate. So the cost of a living trust overall is a reason why people do that. A trust is going to bring all of your assets together in one cohesive plan. You won't have assets going all different directions to various individuals through beneficiary designations. You can have all of the assets either owned by your trust or have the trust as the beneficiary. So all of the assets will go to your beneficiaries the way you want, when you want, and it's just going to be a lot more cohesive. A trust is going to provide for maximum privacy for you. A will goes through probate. Probate is public. We've talked about that throughout the podcast. So, but having a trust means that your assets avoid probate, and because of that, you're going to maintain the privacy. They can provide for a much easier and faster distribution of assets to your beneficiaries. The probate process takes a long time. It's complicated. A trust can be much easier depending on how it's created for immediate distribution of your assets to your beneficiaries. So it's just a much easier and faster way of doing things to distribute assets. It can be used, a living trust, to protect your assets for your beneficiaries. If they are younger beneficiaries or they have spending or creditor issues or addiction issues, if you want to protect the assets for them from possible divorce or undue influence by their spouse, then the trust can be created to do that. And you can't do that with a will. If you have minor beneficiaries, either your children or grandchildren, and you have a will that leaves your assets to those people, then a court again is going to be involved in the administration of those assets for those minors through the guardianship process. A trust will avoid that, where the assets can be held in trust for those beneficiaries until they reach an age where you would feel it's appropriate for them to manage the assets on their own. So we're going to avoid court control over those assets for those individuals as well. If you have individuals who are your beneficiaries and they have special needs and they're receiving some kind of needs-based government benefits, then a trust is going to allow for the creation of a supplemental needs trust or a special needs trust for them to protect their assets and to also protect their right to continue to receive those benefits. So very, very powerful for those individuals. And really, kind of to sum it all up, to sum up the summary, a trust is all about peace of mind, to make sure that what you want to happen for your beneficiaries with your assets will happen exactly the way you want. And there won't be issues with how the estate is administered. It will go quickly and easily for the least amount of money. And you'll just have peace of mind when you create your plan that everything is going to happen the right way. So I hope that's helpful for you. And I want to thank you for joining me throughout the podcast. And as I said, I invite you to join us on our other platforms as we continue to provide this information that's educational and we hope helpful for you. So thanks so much. Bye-bye.